Okay, in today's demonstration, we're going to discuss daily logs. Now, we all know the importance of daily logs. You know, it's the place where we're out in the field, we can keep track of pretty much everything that's going on so that we have a record of all of the activities, subcontractors that are on site, anything that we're completing, materials that we've received, job site pictures, everything. It's a diary for that day. So in order to get started here, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to jump right in and look at our project dashboard. So we'll just take this first project here, this 1455 Magnolia project. And right at the top, the first blue ribbon, we can see we have a smart button here for our daily logs. And I'm going to click on that and we can see a listing that is showing all of the daily logs that we have submitted so far in sequence, their dates and all the pertinent information here. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one, and we'll just start looking at some of the details that are available on this daily log. It's going to pre-fill some of the important information. We know that this is a daily log. Here's the meeting subject it's going to fill in. You can change this if you want. Don't change the event type, or else you will not be creating a daily log. You'll be creating some other type of event. And if you change the project, you will obviously be associating this daily log to a different project. So chances are you should just leave it where it's at. It will automatically default to today's date. And then you can see here we have a daily log number has not been assigned to it yet. It gets assigned when we save this document. And then we have a safety inspection, yes or no. So as part of this daily log, we can actually attach and associate a safety inspection to this. And we cover that in another video. But if you're going to do a safety inspection, and you're going to attach it to this, you can just go through and say, yes, there's a safety inspection attached. That way we can easily find all of our safety inspections throughout the job. So looking at the tabs here below, first thing we have is our weather. So this gives us the ability to keep track of what the weather conditions are on the job site at any particular time. If it's raining and we can't work, or the ground's very muddy, or whatever the conditions are. And there's a couple of different ways that we can enter in the weather entries. The first, obviously, is just to click add an item, like most everything in the system, and we can fill out the details of what's going on. We can put in the date and time and what the sky looks like, the wind, the ground. Is this causing us a delay on the job site? And put any additional notes right here. So then we would just go through and hit save and close or save and new, and keep track of all of the weather entries that are happening on that job site that day. Another way to enter the weather entries is to just click Get Weather. So the daily log form has a direct link into a weather API that will grab the weather from the internet. Assuming that we have the address and the GPS coordinates set up accurately on this job site, all we need to do is click Get Weather, and it will reach out and it will grab what the current weather conditions are for that job site at the moment. So here we can see at 10:24, which is right now, it's raining. We have winds that are gusting at 2 miles an hour from south-southeast. Humidity is high. You can see the direction. We can see all the details of this. And if this is causing us delay, now we can just click in here and say, yes, this is causing us delay on the project. So we're keeping track of all of the weather conditions and whether they're causing us delay. Down at the bottom here, we can also go in and write notes. Now this notes field is notes that pertain to the whole daily log and not just to the weather. If we wanted to change notes on the weather, we could open up the weather item and it has its own notes inside of that. So hopefully that makes sense. And we're going to move on to some of these other tabs here. So on this daily log, we're going to also have the ability to keep track of all of our employees or all of our labor that's happening on the job. So if I click add an item, in the drop down, I'm going to see a listing of all of the people that are associated as employees in our 2020 Construction Cloud. So this is my crew, right? I'm Brant Wadsworth. He worked 8 regular hours and 2 overtime hours, but he showed up late. So this allows me to keep track of basically a time card of everything that's going in. Now we also have a time card application, and that will replace, it will come in here. If you have that installed, it will replace this labor tab to allow us to be able to cost their time to certain codes or certain activities, and we can keep track of that in a more granular detail. Moving on to the materials tab. This is where we're going to keep track of any materials that showed up that we want to document on that job site. So we have, lumber that showed up. We have a ticket number that they've given us. I can click right here. I take a picture and upload the file, and it's just going to open up, and I can just upload anything that I want here. We'll just pick any picture. So I'm going to upload that receipt and put in all the details of the material that was received here. So when I hit save and close, just like that weather, now we're going to keep track of all of the different things that are showing up on that job site. Equipment, we're going to add an item to add in pieces of equipment, keep track of what the reading is, how many active hours or idle hours, or even where we rented this from. Subcontractors, we can keep track of all the subs that were on the job site, with their head count, their man hours, and any notes that are related to that. Visitors that showed up on the job site, who they visited, what time they were there, and what type of follow-up is required, and any additional notes. Our activities allow us to keep track of what we've accomplished on that. So we can go through and say, yeah, for this particular task, we're 25% complete, or we completed 10 units. Keeping track of subcontractors that are there or did the work. And last but not least is the files and photos. So it's really common while we're out in the job site to take pictures of everything that's going on and associate that into the daily log. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. Here again with 2020, everything is drag and drop. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my File Explorer here, and I'm going to go to my desktop. You can see here that I have just 3, they're just screenshots. There's nothing special, but these would be your pictures. These are actually picture files. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to select all 3 at once. And I'm going to drag this down just a little bit. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag this onto the screen here. Oh, you'll notice that when I'm trying to drag it on the screen now, nothing is happening. And that is because we have not saved this daily log yet. So I'm going to go ahead and save the daily log. Now once it's saved, now I'm going to be able to drag and drop. You'll see it says drag and drop it here. And there's a big kind of white box. If I take it out of the box, now you can see there's a big green box that says drag it to this green box. So hopefully that's self-explanatory enough. I'm going to drag it to the green box and drag and drop it here. Boom. Okay, now that I've taken all of those images and drag and dropped them onto this form here, you can see at the top here, I have 3 attachments. There's those 3 screenshots that I just added, but I'll also be able to see those on my Files and Photos tab right here. So let's click on that Files and Photos tab here, and here you can see, here's a listing of all of the different photos that I have attached here. We have a description. The description will actually default to the file name. Then we have the URL, the date it was created. So we may want to go in and make some changes to these photos or put in a different description. So we can just click on that and we can come in and say this is, storefront or whatever it is. And as you look at this right here, we can actually go through and fill out some additional details. Inside of 2020, we have the ability to track multiple companies if we have multiple companies in our business. So I can assign this to whatever company I want. I can make this a public document, or I can attach some security to this. Here's our actual URL. I'm going to save this. So now you can see that here is all of the different files that I've associated and put it into the system. From here, I could just as easily click on the URLs that are in the daily logs and that will open it up. So if I click on this storefront and just click on this URL section, it'll open up a new tab and show me that file that we put into the daily log. So now we're going to go ahead and save this and print the actual daily log and email it out so that you can see what it looks like in the daily log form that gets sent out. Okay, so let's go ahead and print. And this is just going to print mine to my screen here. It will also print it into a PDF form. But here you can see we're keeping track of the notes that are on that job site. Here's all the weather conditions that we added. And here's all of the uploaded files that we've added, complete with their URLs. So when we go and we email this out, those that are receiving this daily report will receive that PDF and they'll receive the details so that they can just click on the links and view those attachments with the daily logs. So I hope that that was helpful. As usual, please let us know if you have any questions or comments, and we look forward to having you on the next video.